Winter is here and I'm so determined to romanticize this season, so here's everything I'm doing to have the coziest December ever and not fall into seasonal depression. If you can't tell, I am a little bit sick and this intro was already done. This is Zara from the future. Hi. But it got messed up, so I'm here redoing the intro. Hi, welcome. I'm Zara, and today we're talking about everything I'm doing to have the best winter ever, the coziest, most warm, whimsical winter ever. Through films, books, and cozy routines, I am romanticizing winter this year. So here are some of the movies that I plan on watching to make the most out of this season. Starting with Little Women, of course. This is one of the most nostalgic, most heartwarming, coziest films to watch. I feel like it really encapsulates sisterhood, friendship, and just what it means to be a woman who is kind of going through these different transitionary periods of time. And I feel like this film would just be the most perfect film to watch this season. As we follow the March sisters enter adulthood and leave their childhood behind, I feel like it will be heartwarming, vulnerable, just a comforting film. I have yet to watch it. I know a lot of people have already watched it. The next is one that's a little bit old-fashioned or just from a different time period, a time period that I don't really watch films from, but that is The Cutting Edge. I feel like the 1950s, the 1960s, those earlier films always intrigue me, but I never take out time for them. But I feel like winter would just be the most perfect time. They really encapsulate winter and just the cozy vibes. So The Cutting Edge seems perfect for this season specifically. This is from the 1990s. I actually thought it was from an earlier time period, but I'm wrong about that. And it's directed by Paul Michael Glaser and written by Tony Gilroy. This is about a wealthy figure skater and a hockey player who has just been injured. Competing in the 1992 Olympics, they have joined forces and are competing against a rival Soviet pair. I feel like this is gonna give me some enemies to lovers. It's going to have that wintry background to it with, of course, the figure skating and the hockey. I'm hoping we have some tension. I'm hoping we have some intrigue. I want to watch something that's very different from what I normally watch. It seems very old-fashioned, kinda, in the best way possible. Next is a film that is kind of surprising. It's on this list, and that's Jerry Maguire. After getting fired from his job for exposing illegal practices that are going on in his profession, a sports agent, Jerry Maguire, manages to start his own agency, but he only has one client. I've decided to give it a go. It seems interesting. It seems a bit heartwarming and just full of vulnerability and connection, and I feel like films like that are just the most perfect thing for this season. So let's see what this one brings to us. Next, we are actually now going back to the 1950s with Sabrina, starring Audrey Hepburn, of course. Sabrina has long had a crush on this playboy, and after her time in Paris, when she's back, Playboy finally takes notice of this beautiful girl that is his family chauffeur's daughter, and he starts to question his brother's ulterior motives that have got to do with, of course, Sabrina. I want to get into Audrey Hepburn's work, so I feel like this might be a great time to do so. I feel like it will have some of that cozy, old nostalgic vibes, and that's exactly what I want. I just want to curl up with a cup of tea with this movie and have a great time, to be honest. I feel like it's an Audrey Hepburn film. I doubt it could be bad, and I'm really excited to give it a go. This is directed by Billy Wilder, and it is, of course, starring Audrey Hepburn, alongside William Holden and Humphrey Bogart. The next movie that I want to watch, speaking of Audrey Hepburn, is of course another Audrey Hepburn film that I have yet to see. That is Breakfast at Tiffany's, which I must get to immediately. I just love the aesthetic. I love the vibe. I have posters of it up in my room and I have not watched it yet. This is going to have to be high on my list. I need to get to this ASAP, and I feel like it would be just perfect with, again, a cup of tea, a warm blanket. Perfect for the winter cozy times. And a young New York socialite becomes interested in a young man who has moved into her apartment building, but her past threatens to get in the way. And I feel like that's just an interesting, fun concept. The vibe, the aesthetic, I love, and I have to get to it. It's directed by Blake Edwards and starring Audrey Hepburn and George Peppard. I'm also going to rewatch Anne with an E, just a few random episodes, maybe not in order, maybe the whole thing, you never know. It has so many great wintry episodes. I feel like it immediately puts me in such a cozy and warm mood. So definitely going to be rewatching some of that. The next way we are romanticizing winter is through our routines. This is so key. Films do a great job at capturing emotion and aesthetic, but to actually romanticize our life, we're gonna have to bring some of that into our own life. Starting with a morning routine, which is so crucial to just starting your day and setting the tone for the rest of your day. So this is where we're gonna start. Slow mornings to feel the coziness, and this signals to us and our bodies that it is that time of the year where we can slow down, take things a bit more easy, make time for just slower movement and rest in general. Journaling. Winter is the most reflective and nostalgic time of the year, and I think it's perfect to just look back at what happened this year, all the wins, all the highs, and even the lows, and just learn from our past, learn from our mistakes, not carry the same things into the future, carry some of the same things into the future. Also looking at what's ahead and what's coming up, and just feeling excited for all that is yet to happen while feeling grateful for everything that has happened and that is happening. I feel like it's just a great way to set the tone for your day. And I've gotten really great at just sticking to journaling and making it a regular thing. I feel like it has massively helped my life. Spend time in the sun. Even though it's winter and a lot of places just don't get a lot of sunlight anymore, if you live in a place where the sun still comes out, especially in the morning, try to get some of that sunlight in. Genuinely, it has made a ginormous difference in my mood. I feel so much better just sitting under the sun, doing literally nothing, just sitting and looking around, romanticizing my life. Like, I feel like that's such a cute thing to do, just sit and people watch, just the animals around you, and sit in nature, sit under the sun, just be present and close your eyes and breathe and let it all in. Moving your body. This can feel so hard. You kind of in the winter just want to curl up on the couch with a blanket because it is really cold. If you live somewhere that actually has winter, movement is so great for our mental health, and definitely around the winter time, so many people get seasonal depression. So to kind of counter that, it is so important to keep our body moving, and having just like 20-30 minutes a day of movement can massively shift your mood and just make you feel and just do wonders for your mental health. And it could be as simple as a walk or a weightlifting workout or anything that brings you joy and that is easy to do regularly. That is the goal. The goal is consistency. Finally, our favorite thing, which is spending time on self-care. Of course, I feel like taking out time to really just sit there and do your skincare routine and not rush it is so nice, especially first thing in the morning. Oiling my hair and doing my skincare routine and literally just spending time actually doing the thing rather than rushing it. I feel like just it goes back to that slower morning. It makes me feel like that girl makes me feel like that main character. So I feel like that is something that you can try. You don't have to make your routines longer, just spend more time there, present. Self-care includes reading too. Having a book that you dedicate to reading first thing in the morning, whether it's fiction or non-fiction, can be so great. It can be a great way to get some reading in. Sometimes we can struggle with that a bit, and our reading, we're kind of just slacking off, even though there are so many books that we want to read. This happens to me all the time. Speaking of books, there are so many ways to romanticize your life, but reading is one of them. And I am a book girly at heart, so of course we have a section where we discuss romanticizing our life through books. Here are my personal recs. So let's get into it. Firstly, change of camera angle. I hope that's okay. The first book, like I said, is Saint. I haven't read anything by this author. She's a well-known author in the fantasy world, and this is a prequel to her best-selling series, Fable. And this really intrigued me. One of my favorite YouTubers, Carrie Can Read, loved this book. Like I heard her talk about it years ago, and I'm finally picking it up, but she loved it and she really raved about it. Elias, his father, dies when he's only 9 years old because his father didn't believe in superstitions regarding the narrow seas, and that got him killed. Because of this, Elias grows up to be somebody who definitely believes in the superstitions and the old tales surrounding the sea, and he grows up with a deep reverence for the sea. He's only days away from getting everything his father could only ever dream of: a crew, a license, a reputation. Because of his deep reverence, he's well known and respected. until he meets a mysterious young dredger who is from an unnamed sea, and now he's forced to choose between his growing feelings for her or the beliefs that have saved him so far, and risk evoking the wrath of the sea. I really want to read this. I want to get back into fantasy. I want to read an epic, hardcore fantasy. And I feel like this will hopefully serve exactly that. I'm so excited. Next is Piranesi. Piranesi's house is kind of unusual and peculiar. It has an infinite number of rooms, endless corridors and hallways, and an unlimited number of statues. In this house is an imprisoned ocean. Yes, I am just as confused as you are. What does that even mean? And this ocean floods all the rooms. Alongside Piranesi, a man called the Other comes to visit him twice a week. Piranesi helps him with his research on a great and secret knowledge. I don't even know what that means. As Piranesi explores the house, he realizes there's evidence of another person or creature living here. A terrible truth begins to unravel, revealing a world Piranesi has never known of. I am so intrigued and curious for this one. I don't even know what this is about. I'm just as confused as everybody else, but I've heard great things and I want to give it a go. It's so intriguing. I feel like it might have some cozy vibes. I'm hoping for some dark academia something. The next book, at the time of filming this, I've already finished it. It's Hot for a Slayer by Ali Hazelwood. This was so good. This was so good. I feel like a video of mine is incomplete without referencing Ali Hazelwood. I love her work, and I feel like this TBR or this book rec section would be incomplete without mentioning her, because I love this book. If you're a fantasy girly who just wants a ridiculously unhinged book without any serious magic world building, please read this. A vampire slayer completely loses all his memories, and the only person that can help him is the vampire that he's been trying to kill for centuries. As they spend time together, they don't really hate each other anymore. Of course, this is a novella. It's a short story, so like if you want to boost your reading goal, read this. It will definitely boost it. It's fast-paced, it's funny, it's ridiculous. If you're a fantasy girly like me and just want something occasionally, just want to read something that's really just ridiculous, this is for you. Next we have The Magician's Nephew. Because the movie's coming out in a month or two in February, I need to read the book, of course. And I already read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which was so good. I feel like it's a classic that I loved, and I want to dabble in classics, so I feel like this one will be perfect. I mean, what better way to romanticize winter than through Narnia? The secret passages between houses lead to another world, Narnia. One cold, wet London summer, Diggory and Polly meet and become friends instantly, and they decide to go on an adventure. Their lives take a sudden turn when Diggory's uncle, who considers himself to be a magician, sends these two hurtling to another world. His uncle has been experimenting a little, and he believes that another world exists, and so he sends these two as a test drive to Narnia. They arrive in Narnia, encounter evil, and after a whirlwind come back home. This is giving winter. This is screaming winter. This is cozy. It is fun. It is lighthearted. I want to get to this before the movie comes out too, so I think it'd be perfect. Of course, honorary mentions to Little Women. I cannot watch the movie without reading the book, so I have to keep up with that. I actually started it and I need to keep reading it. It's so good. It's so cozy. Perfect for the winter. I read it every night before bed, and that has honestly massively helped me romanticize winter and just love the season. So that is all for this video. This is everything I'm doing to romanticize winter, to romanticize my life, and to just fall in love with this season. I'm so excited to see what comes of December. I can't wait to take this time to just slow down, take things easy, relax and reflect, and just look back at the year and spend some more time here in this year rather than just constantly planning for the future. I'm excited for the future though. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And I hope you found some things and some ways in which you can romanticize your life in your winter. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're taking care of yourself. I will see you very soon in another video next week. Till then, take care. Bye.